Recently I had the opportunity to discuss in a webinar a few real-world examples of how the logical thinking process is applied to solve persistent systemic problems. I discussed 3 cases in some detail. One had to do with a department experiencing a decline in market share. Another dealt with a person losing interest in motivation at work. And in the third case, an important software implementation had ground to a halt and had to be put back on track. We briefly touched upon a number of other examples as well, where the process had been used to identify a flawed paradigm causing long-term underperformance, identify root causes behind serious accidents in a production environment, and identify barriers preventing the implementation of new quality standards, just to name a few. So what characterized all those cases? In all of them, whether it's a false paradigm, a psychological barrier, flawed performance measures, or lack of true commitment to a decision, the barrier to performance lies in our own minds. And this applies not only in the cases we discussed. In fact, it is what we almost always find when we really deep dive in to identify the root causes behind our problems. This is shocking in a way, because it draws attention to how imperfect we are as humans. But at the same time, it is immensely reassuring, for it means that by applying the right methods, we can pinpoint precisely the flaws in our thinking. And by identifying and removing those flaws, we can achieve anything. The logical thinking process is built for this purpose. It enables us to remove barriers to performance by achieving clarity on fundamental needs and harmful misconceptions, which we cannot discover without understanding the goal of the system and the causality within it. This is the value we realize by learning and applying the logical thinking process. In June, I'll be conducting a 6-day on-site workshop in the logical thinking process in Paris. In this workshop, you'll bring your own challenge to solve, and along the way, you'll achieve mastery in using the logical thinking process going forward. I went through this workshop myself many years ago, and I still remember how much I enjoyed the intellectual challenge and the magic of the group dynamics that formed among the participants. After I finished, I realized how during those 6 days I had learned more than I did in a whole year doing my MBA. Why? It's simple. When you master the use of the logical thinking process, you achieve a level of clarity of thinking. That means you won't see the world in the same way ever after.